Attention everybody, the views expressed on the show were not necessarily those of Axe Ministry, Axe Media Group, and or their affiliate and subordinate ministries and or nonprofits. So without any further ado, here's the first episode of The Morning Mouth with Johnny Rooster and Pastor Matt. Take it away, fellas. So I don't know what you're talking about this morning, Rooster.
I don't know what you're talking about. My name's Johnny Rooster.
Okay, you know, it's probably about 7:30 a.m. in the morning right now.
Wake up. This is not your snooze button.
It could be.
You can set this to your automatic snooze.
Yeah, can you? We'll call
Wake
you
up.
the morning snooster.
Wake up.
I'm gonna start calling you Johnny Snooster.
I'm so tired. Is it Monday yet?
Yes, actually, right now it probably is.
I don't know what day it is.
It's Monday for somebody.
It's Monday. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. It's Monday somewhere.
Excellent.
It is extravagant. And
What do you got? What do you got? What do you got? in
our
your paper
buddy,
there?
I've got, what, you mean here?
Yeah, what's on your paper there?
My paper says intro.
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 What does it say in the intro?
Johnny Rooster. I am your wonderful host this morning, and our engineer is the Reverend Scott Pearson.
Matt.
Okay.
Don't
call him Scott.
It's written right out there.
Yes,
My brother's name is Scott.
That was fortuitous.
It wasn't fortuitous?
I had no idea your brother's name was Scott. I just picked a name randomly.
I see how it is.
This is what we do.
So, Scott, if you're watching, he goes by David Holland on
So
Facebook.
it really isn't David Holland, Scott. Sounds the same.
Yeah, it's one syllable,
Johnny Rooster's my name, and we're crowing about all kinds of wonderful news, the things that you never hear.
You haven't done the cock-a-doodle, do you?
That was not a recording somewhere. That was actually coming from my throat area.
I thought your wife back here had a rooster.
Yeah, that's embarrassing, but I have to do that. It's like Tourette's. It just comes out.
Do you know of any rooster that lays chocolate eggs?
I do not, but if I did, I'd probably have a fortune in chocolate eggs.
Man, these chocolate eggs are good.
I want to call you Scott now. Matt, why are you eating chocolate eggs on my show?
It's almost Easter.
Gosh, you're timing yourself.
Pam.
You're setting a timestamp.
I am setting a timestamp.
Stamp this and print it.
This will be watched before Easter.
Yes, it will. And print. And if it's a rerun, just pretend it's Easter.
All right, here we go. Now let's do this. We're going to do this. Man, I'm really glad it's almost Thanksgiving.
Why is that?
Because I love chicken and
dumplings.
Turkey. I was just saying because, Johnny Rooster.
Yeah, you love it. My name is Johnny Rooster. I just wanted the audience to know because a lot of people, they don't know who I am.
And you can call me Pastor Matt. You don't have to call me
Matt,
Reverend.
the Reverend.
Reverend is my father.
Okay, Pastor Matt is here with me. I'm with him. We're here together to give you something exciting as you're getting ready for your day right here, right now, or right then and right whenever.
The odds are I'm actually running around this place as we speak.
That's true. You do run around
trying
like
to
a
get
chicken.
This place with his head cut off. Trying to get this place up and running and ready for the morning drive.
Because the morning drive comes up at 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock in the morning.
Or 8:05, depending on how quickly.
8:01 is right on time. 8:03.
Pastor Matt
still
has
on
to
time.
scramble.
Yeah.
Scramble the eggs. Let's do another joke
happens.
about the eggs.
Shh, Johnny Rooster's on here. Don't talk
I
about
wanted
eggs
the audience
scrambling.
to know a little background. I am of Scots-Irish, German, French, Canadian, and English background, which means I could start 4 wars by myself and lose every one of them.
4 wars?
I could start all 4 wars.
You must have a war going within yourself.
There are so many nations that started and failed at war in my background.
Is there French in there?
There is French. So I've got French and German and English.
Where's your white flag?
Well, I have a white cross in my yard, but I don't have a flag.
You do have a white cross in your
I do
yard.
crosses.
Not burning crosses.
No, I don't burn crosses.
No, I don't even know how anybody could do that.
No.
It's nuts.
That's overrated or underrated or shouldn't be rated.
It should just not be.
I graduated back in 1988 from Evangel.
Really?
Before it was a university.
You
it was
graduated
known
from
as a college.
when I was 8 years old?
I am not a young rooster, okay? I've been around the old
that would make you
barnyard
you don't
for a
look
while.
a day over 67.
Thank you, sir. I aged very well. This gray hair is actually spray-on
Please
gray.
don't kill me, Mrs. Rooster.
It's the spray-on gray that I have in my beard.
Oh, yeah. They actually have a hair dye for that. It's called touch of gray.
Yes, and I don't like the word die because it's so close for me. I'm so.
You're sitting in heaven's waiting room right now.
I got one foot in heaven's door right here. St.
Yeah.
Peter and I are already exchanging texts.
Yeah. They're
But
like, hey, what is that giant?
I graduated back from Evangel College in 1988 with a degree in journalism. One thing to note was on my graduation day, my family was going to eat wonderful celebration dinner in my honor, but they forgot one detail.
You.
They didn't tell me where they were going out to eat. And this is true.
What?
No, I'm not kidding.
Is that Trooster Rooster?
True story. My aunts, uncle, my cousins, my brothers, sisters, my parents, my grandparents on both
hilarious.
sides, all of them went out to the restaurant without me.
That's like
I
a
was
movie.
Just saying goodbye to my friends as we were finishing our graduation. Turn around, everybody's gone. I'm like,
just to let you guys know, in 1988, there weren't any cell phones really to
no
speak
cell
of.
phones.
I mean, they had them, but you had to be super rich.
You had to have
them.
a bigger bag too. They were
Yeah.
called bag phones, and they would take you'd have a backpack.
You'd have to
carry
crank it up. Yeah, it was
crank
crazy.
it up. Plug in the wires, hook up the transmitter. Anyway, we
Find
didn't
the
have. We had no communication devices. So these people, all right, you know that. If those of you who know, Evangel University is in Springfield, Missouri.
Yep, right up the street here.
Well, I was there on Glenstone Avenue, and we're waiting, kind of waiting awkwardly to see if my family was one of them. There was more than a dozen family members, and they all drove separate cars, just went to the restaurant. Well, in all good faith, I wanted to give them a fair shake, so I drove to the nearest restaurant, which was Shoney's at the time.
Well, not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor, but I went over there and nothing. So I went to another restaurant. Nobody. At that point, I'm like, forget it. There's too many restaurants, and they're probably not at McDonald's. I'm going home. And that's what I did.
McDonald's is not a sponsor either.
So we are not
There will be
going
some
home.
beeps in
Yeah,
this.
there will be. Beep it out.
There will be beeps.
Yeah, we can't mention those guys. So I was all over the place thinking, why is my family leaving me? How do I
funny.
feel? Well, it gets worse, Matt.
Wow, tell me.
It gets worse.
How does it get worse?
Later that year, 1988.
This happened in the same year.
The same year. This was in May when I graduated. Now in August, on the 16th day.
I was living in Panama City Beach, Florida at the time.
Beautiful place.
Yes.
But my brother got married in Colorado.
Did they do the same thing to him?
No, this is so tragic. After the wedding, my sisters drove, my parents drove. We drove from Missouri to Colorado. This is again before the internet, before we had communication devices.
You had to use a map?
We had the old fold-out maps. I was with my sisters to take the ride out to Colorado. After the wedding, my sisters went home thinking I was with my parents. Not making it up. My parents went home thinking I was with my sisters.
You were stuck in Colorado?
Stranded in Colorado at
Same
my
year.
uncle's farm.
And that's where the
This is not
rooster
made up.
was born.
My uncle raised cattle, but, roosters would be appropriate.
There's no roosters out there?
There were no roosters, but I would love to have them because that would have made the story even better. But
Yeah.
the reality is they left me stranded in Colorado in 1988 in August. I'll still remember that. I'm emotionally damaged by this.
Right.
So
you
twice.
you probably have, what do they call that? Separation anxiety now as an adult.
I am in a fetal position every time my parents drive away. Right now, I'm just in shock. I still remember, but I pull through.
You do.
I'm strong.
That's Trooster Rooster style.
I'm strong.
You can do
so
this.
Just a little background about me. I thought the listeners would like to be introduced that way, like abandonment.
Yeah.
If they have some kind of an issue, like family members don't really get along, or my parents leave me. That's what they do. Now, I was grown up. I was graduated from college, but it was rough. Here's the reason why it was so rough. When my brother got married, on a Saturday, that Monday, I started a brand new job at the newspaper in Ozark because I got a degree from Evangel in journalism.
Yeah.
So just telling my story, I was starting my new job at the newspaper at the Ozark Headliner, known as the Christian County Headliner.
And did you do this
And
story?
I was stranded in Colorado, and I couldn't get to work. No way to get there. My uncle had to spring for a last-minute airline ticket out of his dime because I hadn't gotten paid yet. I hadn't even had my first paycheck, just a newbie.
Oh, so you
So
were
I'm like,
stranded there with nothing.
Sorry, I got nothing. I got
praise Jesus, you had your
empty
uncle.
pockets. My uncle was there. He sprang for the ticket. Here's what happened. I had to get a ride with one of his relatives to the airport, somebody I didn't know, somebody on the other side. She rushed me to the airport, did a great job, but I missed my flight by 5 minutes, like a bad movie. I'm running down the terminal, and I've got this weird bag because it was a carry-on, like I wasn't ready to fly. So here I am. I'm describing this thing. It's one of those luggage bags that carries clothing, like coat hangers, because I had my suit for the wedding.
Yeah.
So I only had the nice bag, not the suitcase.
No.
So I had to stuff extra stuff in there, extra things that I would have put in the car because I was riding in a car, but not now. So now the thing is bulging out like an obese walrus.
And all you've got's a little hole where the hanger goes
and
through.
I'm grabbing the hanger thing, and it's slamming my body with every other step. Kaboom, kaboom, kaboom. And I'm running down the terminal like sweat profusely.
I'm entertained right
and
now.
I'm right in there, and I'm like, oh, dude, I got to get to Springfield, Missouri. Like Denver Airport. They're like, Springfield, that just left 5 minutes ago. I'm sorry. I'm like, no. And the other person that dropped me off, she had to drop me off. There's no way to come in with me. So I'm like, I am
Stranded in the
22 years old,
Yeah.
first just out of college, stranded twice by my parents, now in another state, in another airport, with this bag that looked hideous. I finally realized you can rent a locker for $5. I had $5. That's about all I had. I did not have money. So I stuck that in the locker for $5 and I walked around. Here's where it gets really weird, Matt. It gets weirder.
Wait, it gets weirder?
It gets weirder. This
It gets
is true.
weirder, folks.
Well, here's what happened. I was walking the entire length of the airport because I had 8 hours until the next flight to Springfield. They do 2 flights a day out of Denver International.
Yeah, I
one
know.
in the morning, one at
They
night.
still do.
I'm waiting the
Well, they do
8
a little
hours.
bit
I'm
more than
waiting
that.
the 8 hours. During my long wait, it was about the middle of the day now, about noon. I looked up and there's my brother and his new bride getting ready to fly to their honeymoon. They didn't know that I'd been left behind. I shocked the living daylights out of them by saying, "Hey, guys." They look at me like I'm a foreign object, which they still do, but this was a different reason.
Yeah.
So we had lunch. They bought me lunch. They were so nice. He had money. He was married. He had some money at the time. It's before kids. So
Yeah.
I'm there having lunch with my brother, trying to tell him our parents left me, our sisters left me. He was thinking, well, I remember back when you graduated college a few months ago, we all left you. So he's probably thinking this is routine.
Yeah.
Because he was there at the college thing and he had left me. So I was just glad he was there to buy me some lunch. I waited till the allotted time and flew home. And when I got home, it was about the same time because back then when you're driving all the way through, it takes a while.
Yeah.
And the flight was about, it spread out. I was just enough time to beat them home. And when my uncle picked me up at the Springfield airport. I'm waiting at my house when my parents arrived from Colorado going, well, did the girls beat us here? No, they're not here yet. I gave them a little time to realize what they'd done.
Yeah.
A long
too
story,
funny.
but it's a good introduction to, hey, sometimes life isn't
Why
what you think.
is Johnny Rooster crazy? That's a question.
It's psychologically damaged.
Now, one of the things that's really cool about what we're doing here is it's basically Johnny Rooster unhinged. Untethered,
Unfettered,
unfettered,
unchained medley,
and unthought of and forgot.
unthought out and plucked and left to my own devices.
That was harsh what I just said there.
Yeah, it was very
Sorry,
harsh. So
buddy.
I had to override it by.
Well, you know what? That would have been super hilarious if I would have just not shown up today and been like, I forgot about you.
Well, you know
That
what?
would have added
You
to it.
weren't that early. You weren't being prompt, so I was starting to think maybe he won't show up, and it's not unusual for me.
Yeah, well,
could do this-
I literally was like, I could see the building when Jim
Yeah.
texted me.
It's a big building, folks.
I could see the
It's
building,
tall.
and then I get a message from Jim. Where
Yeah.
are you at?
When you see the building, you're not anywhere close.
John
but
Cockcroft is here.
Yeah.
I said, I am almost there. I completely forgot.
Yeah.
I was half
the
asleep yesterday.
president of Vax Media Groups, they're waiting.
Yesterday, I was half asleep. I had been working all night with little sleep to begin with. I don't remember sending them that message until I looked at it and said, oh, yeah, I did tell you 10 o'clock.
You totally
So,
did.
In my defense, I'm just
Does
really
he need a defense?
I'm just really bad at remembering stuff.
Yeah,
So like that.
and Alzheimer's, early onset Alzheimer's, we don't talk about it.
No, what are we talking
I had
about?
a cure for it, but I forgot.
Right. I saw somebody and it did some of the lyrics of one of those. What's that kid from Canada? What's his name?
You mentioned
Justin Bieber did
Yeah,
that
yeah,
song.
that guy.
This is crazy. Says it had a picture of a guy he was an older guy. I said, hey, this is crazy. I just met you, or something like that.
Call
It's-
Me Maybe.
No, yeah, that's the
Call
name of
Me
the song.
Crazy.
And then it said then it goes back in and says, hey, I just met you. This is crazy. I have Alzheimer's. Hey, I just met you.
That's good.
That's terrible.
That's terrible.
That's terrible.
Don't laugh.
But it's funny.
If you guys
You can't-
laughed,
you
if
know,
anybody's laughing right now,
if you're gonna laugh, you may.
shouldn't they feel conviction?
Life is too short to not laugh. Because if you hold laughs in, they turn into farts.
Oh man, and
They're
then
gonna
it would smell.
get a laugh regardless.
Yeah, and some people they have a bigger
Now,
problem
isn't there like a little video bit on your Facebook page
about.
that you were just doing? That they probably heard me talking to my dad about his horse farting in my
Oh
face.
my gosh, that's just nuts. That wasn't live, but it was funny. You were talking about that.
Yeah.
You feed horses. in the
Yeah.
morning.
Oh, yeah. I love those
Yeah,
horses.
Johnny Rooster associates with people that feed horses. So you got to know this. There's a lot of farm
And
animals.
cows with no
And if
roosters.
farm animals, no farm animals were injured during this production.
No.
But they were referred to,
They were referred to.
and not always favorably.
No.
We're not always complimentary to
I
the
don't
farm
care
animals.
who you are. No matter how old you get, a horse farts in your face.
You're gonna take
It's-
offense.
No, it's going to be funny. You know it's funny. It was funny. I mean, yeah, I took offense at first.
My wife's face right now
But
is
then I
priceless.
thought, man, this is hilarious.
Okay.
I got to talk about this on the show. My dad's horse always farts in my face when I feed him.
That's a good point. When life farts in your face,
You got to laugh.
you got to laugh. And
'Cause
that's what
farts
we
are
want.
funny.
We want our listeners and viewers
And
to
so
know
is
that.
life.
We want you guys to be
Yeah.
on your way wherever you're going today and laugh in the fart faces.
Yeah, fart in the faces.
Fart
and make
in the
them
laugh in the face of the fart.
Yeah,
that
laugh in the face of the fart.
It's almost scriptural.
That-
Could you pull in a Bible reference.
Well, I can't bring
Probably
myself to
not.
pull in a Bible reference
No.
to farting in people's faces.
No.
Maybe thou shalt not
I wanted to ask
fart
you
in
something.
someone's face.
Since they've gotten to know me and how I've been abandoned a lot, and how maybe that should be a motivation for people to enjoy life anyway.
Yeah.
But did you say you had an older brother or younger? And I called you Scott,
I'm
and
the
I called.
I'm the baby of the family. Scott is actually technically he's my stepbrother, but
Okay.
I grew up. His mom raised me from about 11 on, and she's my mom, and he's my brother. Even though he's a pain in the butt sometimes, I love you, brother.
You get along though.
Yeah, and him and I, we didn't always get along.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I was a little butthole. Not like I wasn't intentionally mean. I didn't have any. I didn't think before I spoke or acted. Nothing.
You don't think before you speak? I can't imagine a world.
No, it was way worse then. It was way worse then than it is
gosh.
now. Yeah. And there's one time I got tossed across the kitchen floor, dining room floor on Christmas Eve one time. Because, well,
Sound effects.
they told me to eat some fruit salad, and I took a bite of it, and I went, yuck, that's gross.
Did it have?
And it made him mad because Grandma made that fruit salad.
Yeah. That's
And-
Grandma's fruit salad.
And I thought he was kidding. I was on the phone with, I can't remember who I was on the phone with. And I
Did it
heard
have
him
the cottage cheese chunks? in
No,
it? Okay.
no,
so
it was just-
nothing gross.
No,
just
nothing gross. It was
a
just
good fruit salad.
It was fruit salad. Peeled grapes, which
Yeah.
is weird. Why would you peel a grape? But anyways,
grape peeler.
yeah, I don't even know how you take time to
It's
peel
very
grapes.
painstaking.
Yeah, no wonder her hands were
Roosters know
kind of
this.
like stiff all the time. Anyways,
Arthritis.
we're gonna have to get off of here in just a couple minutes
Okay.
because you guys.
I
have
know
somewhere
it's
to be by
amazing,
noon.
but everybody has someplace to be. They're rushing around right now.
I mean,
it's probably
by-
getting so
by
close.
8.
It's getting so close for these people that have to be at work by 8. You're
Yeah.
gonna be late if you don't step on it. Past that guy in front of you. Wait, you can't. There's another guy next to you.
Yeah,
Oh well, you're stuck in traffic. If you're on Sunshine, good luck.
leave a little sooner. I should have left sooner. I
Oh,
should have.
well.
I should have. Would have. Could have.
I wanted to let you know, in reference to your stepbrother, did you realize, and I'm a middle child, Forrest Gump was a middle child.
Was he?
Forrest Gump, his brothers were 3est and 5est. You got to really think. I know, that's a lot of thinking. 3est, 4est, 5est. He's
Sixest.
middle guy. Middle guy
Yeah.
4. 3 and 5, you got to have brothers.
You know why 6 was scared? Because 7, 8, 9.
But I was going to say that in a Forrest Gump.
Stupid as stupid does.
Because 7, 8,
I'm
9.
not a smart man, Mr. Rooster.
But I know what 7 is.
I know what 9
I know
is.
that 8 is. You know what 8 is? It's almost 8 o'clock, and it's going to be time to go to work.
That's not fun.
No.
Yeah, that clock does look like it says 8 o'clock.
I think
doesn't
it's
it?
almost here. I think Forrest
Actually,
Gump.
it's an hour late and it says 10:31.
Hey,
But anyways,
if your clock's broken, it's right twice a day, unless it's
that's
in
right.
the wrong time
See,
zone.
that's a positive outlook. That right there is what they call an optimist.
Positive.
An optimist. I'm an optimist. I'm a realistic optimist.
Mom
I
always
believe the
said.
glass is half full. I just wonder who drank the other half.
Well, to recap this whole thing, we've just been having fun, getting to know each other, and I hope that you, as listeners, continue to enjoy the morning before the morning drive.
Yeah, we'll call it the morning. What do we call that?
The rooster.
Morning drive time. I don't know.
It's the It's actually
Pre-game, the pre-drive show.
Yes.
The
There's
pre-game.
no halftime show.
Let's call it pre-game.
There's no indecent halftime show here.
What do you guys think? Pre-game?
Pre-game.
Let us know.
Yeah, give us your
Messages.
comments. Yeah, we love it.
Nothing obscene.
We don't do anything about it, but we love
I mean,
to
our
read
faces are obscene enough. We don't need. Any.
it. But you guys, it's only going to get better. This is our first one.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
enjoy. Just wrapping up here, I just want to thank you, Matt, for being available at Axe Media Group. They can watch this. And what else do you have at Axe Media Group?
Oh man, Monday through Friday mornings we have the morning drive from 8 to 9, and then Monday from 9 to 10 we have Steve Mickey Mac McAllister with Brighter Living Live. And then the next day, our show is followed by Something to Celebrate with Tom and Amber. And then Wednesday, the New Gold Standard with Tony Hammock. And that's from 10 to 10, or that's from 9 to 10. And then on Thursday, we have the Power Hour with Skylar Carter, and that's from 9 to 10. And Friday, the Happy Hour with Dr. Paul. That's from 9:30 to 10:30. And then from 9 to 9:30 on Friday, we have the Basics of Faith. And then we got a couple of new shows starting up Monday and Tuesday. Not this Monday and this Tuesday. We're still working out the details on it. We got one gentleman by the name of Troy. It's a veterans program. And then on Tuesday, we've got Rita Sanders Esquire. She's a lawyer, a defense attorney. And she's going to be starting her new 30-minute show, and that's going to be called Reality Check.
Goodness
the news
gracious,
that's not reported.
Every day, Monday through Friday.
Monday through
Something
Friday.
going on. Can I finish this little segment with a quick story that's 30 seconds long?
Sure.
All right, here it is. It's true, it's fun, and it relates to the other two stories. Remember, I told earlier about how people were abandoning me, but there was this certain VHS film, and I put it on, and immediately at this VHS tape back in the day, I rented it, and I watched it, enjoyed it, and I'll tell you, I put it on the roof of my car accidentally just as I was getting ready, and I'm driving down the highway.
This
is a VHS tape, so I put it on the roof of my car.
VHS tape is what, you know how DVDs and Blu-rays are now. That's what they were back then.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
So this was back in the day. In fact, I was probably thinking in my head, this is back in the day right
now. You
now.
can stuff toilet paper in those little squares and record over movies, too.
That's it. So I had this VHS tape on the roof of my car. I drove to highway speed. As soon as I reached highway speed, kaplunk, I hear it. And then I realized what I'd done. The tape is on the side of the road. I pull over, back up safely, jump out and run, and there it is. I pick up the tape. You never guess what the title of the tape is. Left Behind. Starring Kirk Cameron. Yes, it really was. This is true. I left behind.
Making a couple of new ones now.
That's right.
With Kevin Sorbo.
So I left behind.
That's after you've been. That is
and I
ironic.
thought that would be a great way to finish up
because you
here.
yourself have been left behind.
And so I knew what it was like. So I thought
Twice.
I'd leave Kirk Cameron behind. About time, buddy. It's something to transfer a little bit of that rage that had built up.
Imposing your.
Yes. I think this was about 5 years after those other incidents. So
did you laugh about? 90s. Did you think about that incident?
Immediately, my brain was, this is ironic.
Left behind.
I have left behind
by
Kirk
somebody
Cameron.
who was left behind.
So it was
twice.
left behind. It was good enough for Reader's Digest.
Yeah. That's
Back
awesome.
in the day, we used to write jokes and put them into Reader's Digest, real life jokes.
Yeah.
This is real life. Guys, this is
not
made
up. You can't
left
make that up.
behind. Check
All right.
it out.
Well, it's time for us to get out of here.
Well, let's not leave anybody behind. I hope you get to work on time. And God bless America.
God bless the United States. And God bless the president.
I'm not a smart man, but I know what time it is, and it's time to go.
Bye, everybody.